What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am your host, as always, Rashid White. I got my boy, Seven Mitchell, the best of seven sports talk. Special guest in the building. What's good, kid? What's good? Thank you for coming on. I actually been on his show about 4 or 5 times. This only fair that I try to get him on with this. This is a really, really good collaboration over here. And I was listening to one of his videos, man, and I'm like, it blew my mind away, and it kind of had me thinking. So introduce yourself, Seven, man. Let them know what you do over there, man.
Got you covered, man. Salute to the NBA community, and shout out to all the supporters of Sports to the Wire. Big up to Rashid White. Uh, Appreciate you for having me on your platform, man. It's going to be a decent time. If you guys enjoy NBA content, as well as with Sports to the Wire, check me out on social media at the best of seven. NBA content 24/7, 365. That's just basically how we give it up, man.
All right, so listen, man. You had a video, man, and it was about the MVP thing with Jokic, Joel Embiid, and I was trying to find the video. I think I downloaded it somewhere, man. It's been a hectic week. So kind of rephrase what you were actually saying about the NBA and what they're trying to kind of do internationally, and you think they're trying because like Jokic getting the MVP award 3 years in a row is kind of insane, though. But you see the NBA kind of pushing that way. What's your whole take on that, man?
Well, this whole situation had came off of a conversation Kevin Durant was having on the boardroom where they were talking about how G League players were going to be participating in the slam dunk contest, how G League players had participated in events in last year's All-Star weekend as well as this year's All-Star weekend. And Kevin Durant was just kind of questioning like, what is the league doing? And I kind of referenced it to the MVP situation when we have these foreign players like Giannis and Joker. Not that so much that they're not deserving of the awards, but it seems like the league have an agenda to promote and push the brand to more of a global level, of course. So these guys are being put at the front of the line, kind of sort of, in my opinion, by the voters behind the scenes, only for them to actually lose the award. It's like as though it's given it's for them to win, they could only lose it versus having to really fight for it. I feel like, I mean, when you watch Giannis, the 2 years that he won the MVP, I know it's a regular season award, but both playoff appearances, he didn't play well. Nikola Jokic, two MVPs in a row. Getting the playoffs, didn't play well. He's looking to be a third in a row. So you have, two foreign guys basically being the most valuable player for the last 5 years of the league. I don't have a big problem with it, but I do feel like there's some type of agenda that the league is trying to push. You hear conversations about Luka possibly being the face of the league eventually. No disrespect, but when have you ever heard of a foreign player or a white man, period, being the face of the, NBA in this new era? So it's a
Yeah, I mean,
different
if
look.
any
I'm
if
not mad
anything, it
at it.
should be like Ja Morant, and no disrespect to Luka Doncic, but I mean, this game is actually built on excitement. Who can actually put, like, as Stephen A. Smith would say, butts in the seat, and and then Luka's great, but I'm not running to actually go out there and watch Luka go play live. If Ja Morant's playing live, and I had a choice between Ja Morant and I'm having a choice between Luka Doncic, who you gonna go? I mean, Seven. Who you take? Who you gonna go watch, man? You know,
I
it's definitely
mean,
gonna be Ja
It,
Morant. They
it
got
it depends on what you're looking for. Like I like the excitement out of Ja, but I've still got Luca over Ja all day because Luca, even though he hasn't proven a lot, he has proven some things. Like he's took his team to the fire and he's looked good doing it. He just don't have no help.
yeah, yeah, definitely, absolutely. And the NBA is actually branded as entertainment.
Yep.
It's entertainment. So yeah, I wouldn't put that past you actually saying that they actually are trying to promote international players, and we have a lot of good players. I mean, look, Kevin Durant hasn't been the face of the NBA, and this is actually probably one of the best players in NBA history over here. That's
Steph Curry haven't cracked it either.
Yeah,
The,
same thing.
the borderline with Steph, still LeBron. LeBron is still going to be the face for the most part. While as long as he's playing, it's going to be LBJ's. But, I'm just talking about conversations in the last 20, 30 years or maybe ever. you never really heard any conversations really about a foreign player being the face of the league, especially one that's European or what have you. So, I'm not mad at it. It's just a different vibe. So, now you got Embiid, Joker, or Giannis. Those are like three of the main guys when you talk about most valuable players of this league. And I just think that it's an agenda being pushed that these guys are being put at the front of the line only to have to lose the award versus
I hear
people
you.
like Jason Tatum and
Yeah,
stuff that's
yeah,
got to fight for it all season.
yeah. I mean, you got Tatum up there. I mean, they have a lot of dynamic players. So, what you're actually saying makes it kind of makes a lot of sense, though. It really does. It really does. Because I'm like, why is Tatum not being pushed as a face of the NBA and somebody that's highly branded, highly marketed, like a
Not a
Giannis?
troublemaker. Don't get in trouble with the law. Just
Yeah.
just good. It's a lot. It's a couple of these guys out there
There's a
that's
lot of
that's
cats in the NBA, man.
the NBA is in
There's
good
a
hands,
lot
man.
of guys, and you hear this talk even with LeBron, like, oh, who's gonna be the next LeBron? Who's gonna be the next face of the? Well, I said, we got a lot of players to choose from, man. And players, plural, players to actually choose from. It doesn't exactly have to be one guy, man.
Well, it's only going to be one LeBron. I'll tell you that. I mean, there's
No, no,
definitely a lot of
I
players
get
out there
that,
that
but
doesn't get in
it's
trouble, but there's
like
only going to be one person to do it like
life,
LBJ.
life after LeBron James. This is what I hear from the media, and it's like, who's gonna carry the NBA? And I said, why don't you guys? And this is what the media does. They'll just focus all the attention, all the marketing, all the hype on LeBron. I mean, that's cool. LeBron is a great player, but we actually have other great players too. So I mean, and you don't see the media actually. This is a problem with the media too, man. I mean, I'm so sick of it. I hate their asses, man. You have no idea, man. I'm really tired of them. I'm
It's
sick
an
of it.
algorithm thing. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing when you watch media, not just so much even in YouTube. I'm talking about on social media, period. It's an algorithm thing. LeBron James' name is a part of the algorithm in sports. That's why you have some of these platforms using him so much, creating so much content off of this guy's name. It might not even really be relevant. But
Yeah.
a lot of these platforms, Skip Bayless, these guys have become millionaires off of talking about LeBron James, him, his family, his kids, every move he makes. So it's an algorithm systematic thing. That's why you see it so much.
Yeah. Definitely, man. All right, so I wanted to. I forgot to even mention. I wanted to get into the whole Joel Embiid thing. So he doesn't actually make the All Star starters. He actually is a reserve, and he
Right.
is really, really upset about that. He's wondering what the hell is going on, asking questions, thinking it's actually rigged to somehow. I mean, dude, it's not. Not the NBA. It's not the media. It's not the coaches. It's the fans, man. I mean, I think ultimately this All Star game is in terms of the starters. The fans actually vote these players in, the starters in. So what you actually think with Joel Embiid not starting? Because now here this, I'm starting to hear this in the media. It's a travesty. Something has to be done.
I mean, when you look at it on face value, this guy's number 2 in the MVP race. Philadelphia is playing well. He was a runner up in the MVP for maybe the last 2 seasons, and he's putting up big time numbers. So I understand why he's upset and then feeling like he got robbed of the MVP. Joel Embiid got to feel like he's not getting no respect when it comes to the media and the voters and things like that. But when you look at the starting five, like he would have started if Kevin Durant didn't play. I mean, you just got to look at the surface of what the Eastern Conference, the voters, what they had as starters. Like Joel just didn't fit the bill when you got the other 5 at
But
the time that was voted.
why is that? Why do you
Because
think
he,
he's not fitting the bill?
to me, he's gotten hotter, and the team has played better after these guys started this voting thing. After the fans got the starting voters, really when Philadelphia started getting consecutive wins, like they really hot right now.
Yeah.
He's been playing well all season, but he wasn't number 2 in the MVP conversation until like last week. He was behind Kevin Durant and Joker.
Yeah.
So he's doing well. Philly is doing well as a whole. So I think it's more respect, but they not a top seed, and it's his immaturity. You and I talked about this on my show.
your show.
That the immaturity of Joel Embiid from years back is coming back to haunt him.
Yeah.
So that's why he's not really getting the respect in the those types of things because he's not mature.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, trash talks a lot. I mean, he's doing that triple X thing. You saw him in the Ben Simmons thing. I mean, just a lot.
Even off the court, like he just a lot of trolling and like when he first was in the league, being on social media a lot trolling. Like he he's like a big kid
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for real. He's a big
It's just,
kid.
I mean, would you actually wind up fighting him on the courts or something like that because of the trash talking that he actually does and like just
But see, he
like
probably will work somebody. Joel probably strong. Like, see, he's so goofy, but you try to play with him, he'll probably put the hands on you. And he's just the type of person. He gives you the type of energy and vibe that you just might not really want to rock with him just because of his personality and character. You probably have to be similar to his energy to really want to be around him because he probably will want you to take it there.
yeah, 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 definitely, man. Yeah, yeah. And I seen him like taunting during the games.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, you make yourself out to be the villain.
Got
Nobody
to eat
really.
it.
You got to eat it, man. Exactly. So, but I mean, listen, he's a great talent, and I just don't think. I mean, I'm reading the comment sections on Facebook because that's where I actually found this article at, and I'm reading the comment sections from the people, and they're like, "Hey, listen, your game is just not really that entertaining, man. Like it's. I mean, KD in terms of his game, you rather watch Kevin Durant more than you rather watch Joel Embiid or
Two different players, two different positions, and the people that's making those comments just don't know basketball. You
yeah,
just gotta appreciate the. First of all, you got to look at the position. Know that this guy knows how to play his position. Then understand and identify that this guy can shoot the basketball from the perimeter. Like this guy does more than the
yeah,
a
your old
general big
prototypical
man.
centers, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
your old
so
prototypical big guys, yeah,
these people are talking crazy. Like, of course, even though Kevin Durant got the 7 foot wingspan, things of that nature, like him and KD are two different types of players.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Joel can play it inside and outside. So
yeah,
the thing
yeah,
I
yeah,
the thing about him is his health.
yeah, yeah. He hasn't been reliable. Hasn't been able to close in the playoffs. I mean, they got close within the 7 games. I don't know how people feel about the whole Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid beef. And if people are that sour about Ben Simmons, because a lot of people didn't want Ben Simmons to leave, man. They looking at him as the next LeBron kind of 2.0. This is what the media is pushing. This is what a lot of people. This is what he actually has been compared to coming out of college. And now they look at this whole beef between Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, and they're kind of pointing the finger at Ben Simmons as one of the reasons why Ben Simmons kind of wanted to leave, though.
This was a situation in Philadelphia where they won the battle, but they lost the war. When you talk about the trade between James Harden and Ben Simmons, I think that Philly, you can look at it and say that the 76ers at this point have got the better out of that trade from the James Harden performance that he's given Philly in comparison to Ben Simmons' performance in Brooklyn. So the battle, I think, was won by Philly, but the war to me for Philly was lost because, like you said, they should have kept Ben. I would have got rid of Joel Embiid for the immaturity reason alone a couple of years ago. I really feel like Ben Simmons should have been that guy that they built their team around. I know Joel is a better player, a more impact player than Ben Simmons, but I did not like
Yeah,
Joel's.
today's NBA, you rather have like Ben Simmons rather than like a. And I'm not saying Joel Embiid is a slow prodding center, but I don't think Philadelphia is going this far. I'm gonna do a separate video on this either later tonight or tomorrow, and because Colin Cowherd he was saying like, oh, I have Philadelphia over Brooklyn. I said, really? I said, you think, or even you think Philadelphia can actually defend the perimeter?
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
Philly will beat y'all. Philly will beat y'all.
no, man. James Harden can't. You got to defend the perimeter, man. You got to guard KD. You got to guard Kyrie. They have a lot of perimeter threats. James Harden, he doesn't have the lateral. I mean, the foot speed to go out there and stay with these guys. And then even like you got a head-to-head matchup between Cleveland and the Philadelphia 76ers. Tyrese Maxey is not a great perimeter, like an on-ball defender. And the on-ball defenders they really do have in terms of like PJ Tucker, Matisse Thybulle doesn't really give you any type of offense or anything like that. So I'm just worried about the Philadelphia 76ers defensively. Joel Embiid and head-to-head matchup between Kevin Durant, KD could just stay on the perimeter and shoot threes. You got to run out there and chase Kevin Durant off that line, man. And I don't see Joel Embiid can do that in a 4-7 game, like 7-game series against like high impact perimeter players there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but getting back to Jokic though, I mean, do you actually think that the international players have just gotten better? Like they're more skilled, and what you actually think about that?
They've adapted to like it goes hand in hand. The game have changed, and the foreign players have been able to adapt to that. I think partially because the changing of the game was catered for them. Like this goes all the way back to Kobe and the impact that he had on China, and even Jordan, the impact that he had overseas. Like the NBA has always seemed to have been working on different ways to globally improve the brand, make more people, more foreign players more relevant. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a system thing. I think that foreign players more now, they got so much impact on the league because it's less physical. How we playing now is how they were playing when back in the Dream Team days in the 90s and stuff. This is how the foreign players were playing. It's quick, fast, no aggressive, no hand check, stuff like that. So we've catered to them, which have allowed them to step it up.
All right, yeah, and Luka Doncic. I mean, he was a pro. He played when he was like 15 years old. He was actually in like a professional basketball player back then. So maybe that's something that we actually kind of have to do here. I mean, Europe, they got 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds actually playing professionally, going against grown men.
Yep.
So I think maybe that's something that the United States has to kind of do. Have like a junior pro. I don't know. 15. I don't know the laws against that. I don't know how exactly that would work with school and I mean, there's a lot of factors that factor into that.
Right.
But yeah, we got people actually starting to chime in over here. But let's recap over here and the title of this video. And I have special guest Seven Mitchell. He's part of this Best of Seven Sports Talk. And
that's right.
So,
yes,
yes, man. I've been on his show a couple of times and three or four times, man. And but all right, so I'm hearing more Ben Simmons talk, man. Ben Simmons. He's actually like just
trash.
Hot topic of the league right now, man. And they're talking about trading him. I heard one show I was just listening to is trade him to Utah for what's his name, Mike Conley Jr. I was like,
that'd be beautiful. I don't think y'all deserve that. That'd be beautiful.
Man. He's an old player, man.
You wouldn't take that trade?
No, hell no, man.
What?
Crazy? A 6'11" point guard that can.
Man, you're out your mind. Did you see Mike Conley play tonight?
What was his numbers over here, man? Let me see. Let me see.
See, that's the thing. You want to keep talking about these stat lines, man. It's just the eye test. This guy is more of an impact on the game than Ben Simmons on both ends. Well, I ain't gonna say both ends of the court because Ben Simmons is a great defender.
Defensively, man. Listen, there's
but that's not. See, my argument with you, Rashid, always has just been that's not what you guys only need right now with Kevin Durant being gone. Y'all missing a 30-point per game clip with KD being out. I know Ben Simmons can't equal that. I'm not asking him to. But y'all need at least an extra 15 guaranteed a game.
Well, listen, if he has injuries, he's dealing with this knee injury. He's scheduled to be back on Saturday. And I will be running.
Kevin Durant is on his way back. So it's just like, okay, again,
he showed you during the Philly game, right? He scored 10 straight points, man. 10 points.
10
like
points.
Like I said, I believe
10 points. Really?
Well, listen, I think it's important to establish these role players that they have in Joe Harris. I mean, it's really critical to get these guys going, man, because Joe Harris, I mean...
these guys have already been in the playoffs. I don't understand why we keep having this conversation about the role players having to be established like they're a bunch of rookies. Ben Simmons is the guy that needs to be established as being the third best player on the team. That's the establishment y'all need. Them guys
So
have been
did
to the.
Utah
Nick
play for
Claxton
them?
is playing like we're talking about him being what potentially defensive
Yeah,
player of
but
the
he's
year.
a third. He's a third-year player, man.
But
I
what I'm
mean,
saying is you have role players that are exceeding expectations and doing their job. But what about the big names? One guy's hurt. Another guy, Kyrie, who y'all shitted on, suspended, and took money from, he the one that's saving y'all, and y'all don't have no respect for him. Y'all giving
well,
this
the
one
owner
guy,
doesn't have any respect for him. I mean,
you
you
don't
see one.
either.
No, I do. I
No
do.
way. You
I
after
just
those
want no.
videos?
I want him to play a more cerebral game. That's all I'm saying. That's
To
all I'm
who?
saying. That's all
To
I'm
who?
saying.
To
That's all
who?
I'm. What?
Who's gonna pass the ball to? Like you want him to distribute. I just want to know to who.
Yeah, you got to distribute. Listen, imagine if you're playing a game, man. You're in the game and you don't touch the rock in like 8 or 9 possessions. Are you gonna really want to kind of be in the game though, man? Like your head is gonna be into it if you
Imagine
don't
your
actually
third.
touch the basketball, man.
Imagine your third best player touching the ball 8 or 9 times and never even shooting it. Like that wrecks your brain even more. Like, come on, man. We can't do this. We can't have it
I
both
mean,
ways.
listen. The
Jesus
way, like I
Christ.
said, man, it's amazing how I said like I go and they lost 4 out of 7 or something like that in 11 games with KD being out, and I'm just talking about the losses. Numbers isn't everything. I like Kyrie around 26, man.
Can we
Excuse me.
get into recent events between our two teams? I would like to speak on the Nets and Boston game. I would like for you to explain
Yeah.
yourself. I would like you just to explain that scenario, and then I would like to talk about my Lakers and what happened tonight. I don't want to leave your show without giving my guys some
Yeah,
props
you
for what we
gotta.
watched
Yeah,
tonight.
y'all squeaked the win out, man. You're
Squeak the
lucky.
win,
You
2 in a
squeaked the
row,
win out, man. I
2 in a
think.
row.
All right, so it's like if you're playing pool, right, and your opponent is actually doing well, and they scratch on the 8 ball. I think that's exactly. I think that's exactly what happened with the Indiana Pacers. They were winning that game, and they just scratched on the 8 ball, man. You know,
Okay, but see,
you played Bill.
I'm
You
not
played
going.
pool before. You played pool, right?
Absolutely,
So
I
yeah,
love
so
eight
you
ball, but
understand like if you're playing pool and you know you're getting your ass kicked, and then your opponent actually scratches on the 8 ball. Do you go and you beat your chest? You know, saying like, yo, I got that win. I got that win.
not if that person has a consistency of scratching the 8 ball. Like we got to put this
Well,
whole thing
I
in.
mean, it's a rarity that actually it happens though, but it does
We got to
happen.
put this in context. The Lakers had another close game. They just was in overtime in New York. Another close game, and they were able to pull it off. You know, you're talking about squeezing by and all this stuff,
Squeaking
squeaking
by.
by.
Yeah, because I mean, Halliburton didn't shoot that well. Now, oh man, now getting back to so the Nets and the Boston Celtics, man. You know, I mean, I don't know because it's like I'm kind of confused, man. This is the dilemma that's going on with the Brooklyn Nets. Yes, they actually do need size. They do need some length. They do need some athleticism. But you know, if the guys with the size, the athleticism, and the length can't score, like they're not really good at making shots. Let's say like a PJ Tucker or like a Matisse Thybulle or something like
Or
that.
Ben Simmons.
No, Ben Simmons can score.
When? Where? How? What? Who? I ain't seeing it.
Wait, are you a prisoner of the moment? You ain't looking at his
Yes, I am a
productivity?
prisoner of the 76th
He had
season of the
42
NBA. I don't
points
care
against
about his
Utah.
career highlights. We're in the 76th season. I care about this season.
Man,
Yes, I'm a prisoner of this
Don't
moment.
be sounding like Dreamers Pro over here, man. I might make a video of you
We
with a
don't. I
clown
don't
suit
care
on.
about no overall career, Ben Simmons. It's about right now. We are in the 2022-23 season. What is this guy doing for this team, the Brooklyn Nets?
Ben Simmons can score, but I'm just saying, like guys who can't really doesn't have an offensive game. Like Ben Simmons can post. He has footwork. He can finish with either hand. He's a really good passer. But he can guard 1 through 5. Handles. You know, so I mean, but all right. So you compromise. You get rid of Joe Harris, Seth Curry, and you bring in guys that can actually really, defend, guard. You're not giving up? But that's the whole thing. I don't know because you're not getting like Seth Curry can shoot. He can make shots. He spreads the floor, but he's small. Joe Harris, he's not a small guy, but he is slow-footed, and it doesn't seem like he's fully recovered from the ankle surgery. I don't know. His confidence is there. He's been really up and down. I mean, they were saying that, oh, maybe if he actually plays with the starters, then that would help, and it hasn't helped. But he gets burned defensively. He tries to take the ball to the hole. He gets blocked. I don't know, man. I mean, what I saw in the Boston game, I mean, this is where you need the athletes at. You need guys like Boston was shooting a lot of threes. Like Tatum is an excellent catch and shoot 3-point shooter, and so is Jaylen Brown. And you need athletes, guys with really fast twitch muscles to scramble and get those guys off that 3-point line. And then you got Al Horford, who's actually shooting 43% from three. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's a guard-driven NBA right now. I don't know. It's just, can they get some more size? I just think they need like another Royce O'Neal type. What do you think?
I think you're bugging. Like, deal with what you have. You want to talk about a team that needs makeup? My team could use the genetic makeup with no shooters, but we're dealing with it. We're winning games. Y'all problem is, again, Ben Simmons. That's your problem. Let me ask you this real quick. Let me ask you this. Could the Miami Heat been the winners that they were during that LeBron era without Chris Bosh?
No, they needed him for floor spacing.
He was very important in their success, right?
Yes, sir.
Ben Simmons is the same exact thing. The whole Joe Harris story that you're talking about, I respect it. You're not lying one bit about Joe Harris. But he's a guy that you got to keep. He's a guy that you don't need to rely on to score like that when you got these other guys. But he is that player. Yeah. He is that Steve Kerr. He is that John Paxson. He is that Mike Miller. He is that guy that every championship team had to shoot and make a key perimeter or 3-point shot in one of these rounds. So you keep him. Ben Simmons is the guy that's not doing his job. Well, I'm not going to say that. I take that back because he has been doing his job when Kevin Durant is out. So, bro, all I can say is if you guys can stay healthy, I got Brooklyn being dangerous. But if one of you two go down, I just feel like y'all in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, what I've noticed, I've been really, really watching this, and not just, spectating, because it's really, you can get, like Kyrie kind of has magic, man. When you watch him play, it's easy to kind of, like, get drawn in a spell with him, man, because he's like, I don't want to analyze no basketball game, man. I just want to watch him, because he's going to put on a show. He's going to do something amazing. But, I'll be watching him, and Ben Simmons brings the ball up. He's bringing the ball up. And then he gives the ball to Kyrie. And then Kyrie just goes ape shit, man. He just goes look to score. I'm like, hold on, man. How about getting the ball back to Ben Simmons? What about some post catches? I did a video. It was about Ben Simmons, like trying to get him back to that 42-point game he had, to get him kind of back to that mindset. And he was posting up players. He was posting up Boyan and taking it to Rudy Gobert, taking it right to him. So I think Kyrie is, like I said, he's playing contract basketball and not playing team basketball. I mean, that's what I actually see. Now in the Knicks game, he was actually moving the ball. He was using both sides of the floor, making the extra pass, looking for a great shot. So he would have a good shot, and then somebody's wide open in the corner, and they actually have a great shot. So I actually seen that in Kyrie. So I'm not sure if he's wired. He has to kind of rewire his brain and look to pass more. It's just he takes a lot of bad shots, though. He makes them, but he takes a lot of bad shots. Now I know your reaction. I see your body language brewing. I mean, you are going to go off on me.
No, I was just trying to check out I was just looking at some stats. I mean, your Brooklyn Nets are paying Ben Simmons over $35 million to basically be another Bruce Brown.
Well, like I said, man, the ball needs to be in his hands most of the time. And I think Kyrie kind of needs to have to play off ball, and try to open things up, because you can't, it can't be like Ben Simmons Kyrie bringing the ball up. And, hold on. Ben Simmons actually brings the ball up, and then he gives the ball to Kyrie, and then Kyrie kind of like tries to take it to the basket, and then they load up on Kyrie, and then you throw it back out to Simmons and say, hey, do something with the ball with 7 seconds on the shot clock. There needs to be more movement. Like again, you can do like post catches, man. Like Ben Simmons can actually post up. Matter of fact, I just shot some B-roll of Ben Simmons actually, posting up, like doing post up moves and up and under moves and the footwork. And I didn't see actually more of that. I just think the Jacques Vaughn didn't really have a training camp or anything like that. He didn't have a training camp. He took over for Steve Nash, and he just needs a simple offense right now. Now, maybe when they get into the playoffs, they actually have that 1 week off. They could practice and work on new things within that week. But you got to remember, they didn't have, like, Jacques Vaughn didn't have a full training camp with this team.
So what?
Nah, I mean, you gotta practice, man.
Jacques Vaughn's. Did you know Jacques Vaughn's record?
No, I get that, but he took over it. Like Steve Nash had a philosophy.
After 7 games. After 7 games.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying Steve Nash had a training camp. You know what I'm saying? Jacques Vaughn didn't have a training camp.
But Jacques Vaughn was on the staff. I mean, it's not a big adjustment. Yeah,
but I'm saying, like you saw what it was a different offense,
Man, you give Ben Simmons all the excuse in the world. It ain't going to make no difference.
Not, he's injured, man.
Not.
If he's
you can play all the highlights. You can show everybody all these highlights all you want. If it's not in a Brooklyn Nets uniform happening this year, it doesn't count. Because that's what y'all need.
Games with the Nets. He had 22, 18-point
games. When KD and these guys are all on the court, that's not the issue. Kevin Durant has been known to be out for 6 to 8 weeks with this MCL injury. Like, this is a known thing. So what is your man going to do in this next month and a half? We done witnessed it. He goes 0 points. He's getting ejected, and now he's hurt. Come on, man. This is cowardly business with Ben Simmons.
All right, so, I mean, there's a lot of players hurt. T.J. Warren is hurt. Why nobody say anything about him?
Because T.J. Warren is not the third best player on the Brooklyn Nets. T.J. Warren is not a 3-time All-Star.
All right, but Lonzo Ball is yet to suit up.
Lonzo Ball is a second-year player. He's not a 3-time All-Star.
Is he faking his knee injury?
He just was playing. I just watched Lonzo Ball play.
He didn't play yet.
Not Lonzo. I'm thinking of
LaMelo. Lonzo Ball, his brother.
Lonzo, according to Chicago, is not hurt.
No, they're saying he's hurt. I don't know. They're saying
he's hurt. The Bulls are saying he is not hurt, and the medical staff saying they do not understand why he keeps saying that he is injured. They saying they can't detect the injury with him. So they feel like he's lying. I read this article day before yesterday.
So that should be the biggest story than Ben Simmons right there.
Why?
Believe Ben Simmons got a legitimate knee injury.
No way. No way. Yeah, Ben Simmons got a legitimate heart injury. Ain't nobody care about no knee injury. Nobody that knee injury. Is it more serious than Kevin Durant's MCL injury?
No, but you got to remember they're human beings at the end of the day.
Listen, so they're not just human beings. These are athletes. These are athletes. You can talk about the human beings
too.
When we're talking about emotions, you can say they're human beings, but we're talking about physicality. These are not just regular human beings. These guys are freaks of nature. Let's be clear on that, because you like to do that. You like to bring this human being thing up. Yeah, from an emotional standpoint, a mental standpoint, yeah, we're all human. But these guys are not the regular average Joe. That's why it's only 1,000-something jobs available in this game. No.
But if you have a knee injury, you got to make sure, like I said, there's psychological hurdles, man.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like a lower extremity injuries that I'm going to give players passes on.
If Klay Thompson can do it, Ben Simmons can do it. That's how I feel.
Klay Thompson is still having his ups and downs, though.
You don't see Klay. Klay does not play scared at all. Not one game since Klay has been back does he play.
He's still not old Klay yet. You know what I'm saying?
He don't have to be old Klay. He's never going to be that Splash Brothers Klay.
No, we don't know that. It's going to look. Kevin Durant. he was like this year. He's defending and scoring like old KD. You know, last year was just scoring. Now this year, I mean, he's been guarding. I mean, he was like number 3 or 4 in block shots in the NBA this year before the injury. So it takes time to act. Like I said, there's psychological hurdles that you actually have to get over when it comes to. You think these guys want to be on crutches or in that what's that thing that scooter that they actually when you have an Achilles tear? I forgot.
Well,
the name
don't play then, because at the beginning of the year, I'm saying at the beginning of the year you was crying about his back. Now, like, don't play then.
He had
don't
surgery.
play.
He had surgery.
Don't play then. Quit. Because there's other guys that's going through the same thing. There's other guys that's going through the same. There's not and then when you take that in consideration with the known mental breakdowns that this guy have, he got to show and prove. There's no way to get out of the box other than to prove everybody wrong.
No,
because you're talking about an injury element, and then you talk about a mental element where people feel like he just don't have the guts to want this. So how is he going?
You don't get to be a three. Listen, you don't get to the NBA and you don't be a 3-time All-Star by saying, "Oh, it's just going to be about the money." You'll never make it if that's the case. You know, because
what does that have to do with anything?
The sacrifices that it actually takes to get to a Ben Simmons level. You're just not.
We're not. But see, I don't think the conversation is about him being a professional basketball player. I don't think no one is saying he is not good enough to be in the NBA. But he's here now. What is he doing? We shouldn't be having skill set conversations with Ben Simmons. We should be having productivity conversations. Same thing with James Harden. I saw a conversation. I saw Jamal Crawford wanted to know, why does James Harden not get the love that Luka gets when James Harden was putting up the similar or the same or maybe better numbers in Houston?
He was getting a lot of love.
I mean, yeah, he was, but with Jay Crawford just didn't really, I didn't feel like he understood or recognized that James Harden was awful in the postseason with that team. When they had that real chance to beat Golden State, Chris Paul was on that squad. Luka looks good even in the playoffs when they lose.
Yeah, but you need at least two high percentage one-on-one players if you're gonna make it, man. It can't just be one guy, because all they gotta do is just load up on James Harden, make him get rid of the ball, and say, "Hey, one of you guys," they're not gonna just let James. Especially,
well, that's what they do with Luka.
Yeah, but look where that landed him. They had Jalen Brunson.
Luka's looking good all these postseason. When have you seen Luka play bad in the playoffs?
What's that? No, not bad, but I mean, he can't take his team over the hump.
They just went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yeah, but the guys were hitting threes. If they're not hitting threes, then
man, you just got to give it up, man. He took his team to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, but they had Jalen Brunson there to help carry the load. And look at Jalen Brunson now. He should have been. That's another video I'm going to do. Is Jalen Brunson
on Jalen?
Yeah, I think he should have made the All-Star team. But he had another guy that he can, had trust in to make high percentage plays, not turn the ball over. He doesn't have that this year. Look at that. What's their record? Number 7 or 8?
Who, New York?
No, the Dallas Mavericks. You need another guy who can make plays and can score. Know when to pass the basketball. There's a lot of guys that can't do that, man. They don't know how to
What do you argue with Jalen? What's your argument for Jalen, that he should be an all-star starter or just an all-star period?
No, or reserve. Hell, not a starter. Hell no. But
he didn't make the reserves?
Nope. Julius
Randle
did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. They announced it tonight.
Interesting.
They had DeMar DeRozan. He made it, even though, I don't know.
LeBron made it 19 times.
Yeah.
Most ever.
Yeah, most ever.
Show my man some respect. Is LeBron the GOAT now, man? Like, let's talk about this real quick. Hell no.
No. You saw my video? I broke it down to you. You saw my MJ video. I was saying that, and I did.
You could never.
I watched MJ. I'm like, nah.
I watched MJ too.
Yeah. But did you watch my video? Me breaking down.
I don't need. Why I need to watch your video when I got all this 20 years of game tape from LeBron James? I gotta watch somebody's video for.
Yeah. But he doesn't. Like I said, it's the post move. Like I said, with MJ, you're getting a point guard, you're getting a 2 guard, a 3 guard, a 4, and a 5.
You're getting that from LeBron. LeBron has proven to play all those positions on both ends of the court, right or wrong.
What's that? Say that again.
Has LeBron not played both all 5 of those positions offensively and defensively in his
Yeah,
career?
but like he doesn't have the footwork. And you watch the fundamentals from MJ, how he
He don't have
moves
the
without the
footwork of Kobe and
basketball,
Michael. He don't
huh?
have he doesn't have the footwork of Kobe and Michael. That's
Yes,
true.
that's the main thing. And then
His
you actually
kick
look. You
can,
got to look at how MJ could play off ball too. Like I was like, wait a minute, hold on, man. I'm watching MJ, and I'm like, you don't actually have to run plays for MJ. He runs, he crashes the boards, putbacks. He's willing to rebound. Defensively,
Michael LeBron James is top.
yeah,
Wait a
he can
minute.
rebound. He's not a willing rebound. He doesn't want to do it.
He's in the top 10 in rebounds all time. He's in the top 5
Yeah,
in assists,
I
and he's
get
about to
that.
be
I
number
get
1
that. But
you cannot talk about numbers and disrespect LeBron. You just can't do it, Rasheed. You can't without being a hater.
no,
This
I'm
guy's
not being a hater. I was Jason Kidd was my favorite player, not MJ or not LeBron. Jason Kidd. So I'm being pragmatic as much as possible over here, man. And I'm like I never seen like the catch and shoot, the ability to pull up. Remember, like MJ's mid range games and the pull up, the catch and shoot. How he can just. I mean, he had like it's like 5 different games all into one player, man. He can do. He could be Richard Hamilton. He could be Reggie Miller. He could be Kyrie. The finishes, defensively, MJ's better.
I have a question.
Yeah,
How many points does a field goal contain? Whether it's a layup or a jump shot?
I guess 2 points. Yeah, two
Thank you.
points, right? Yeah.
I don't care about all this extra stuff Michael does to get to the basket to get 2 points when LeBron James is a freight train and gets the same 2 points on a better field goal shooting percent clip, might I add, more points, might I add.
All right, so he's been in the league longer. Remember, MJ had 3 years in college.
Who fault is that?
Actually, it would be better if LeBron went to college because he can actually learn. Let me ask you something: if LeBron had those fundamentals, do you actually think he carves out more rings? Because I believe that. If he can actually play off, see, I thought MJ was his ball hog.
No
And
way.
I'm scratching my head. I'm like, wait a minute, man. Like, you can use MJ off ball. I thought that he was just a black hole. He doesn't pass the basketball. I said, wait a minute, man. MJ was just. I'm gonna do more MJ videos because I mean, it's just
You can use
amazing.
MJ off the ball to do. Wait a minute. I want to get back to your conversation, your question about LeBron going to school. How would that have helped his championship situation? And let's say he would the Duke. Let's say he would under Coach K. How would that help the Cleveland Cavaliers organization from 2002 to 2000?
All right, you know how tiring it is as a defender. I was watching MJ. I'm like, you know how exhausting that is to chase people all around the court, fight through screens. Sometimes your teammates aren't saying like pick left, pick coming, pick left, pick right.
LeBron did that.
That is.
LeBron been doing that versus Steph and Clay for 4 years.
I don't see him move around the court.
Wait,
I gotta watch.
There's not a backcourt. There's not a backcourt in NBA history that move around off the ball like Steph and Clay. There has never ever been a
No, that's what
duo
I'm
that
saying. I
moved.
just don't see that. I don't see that from LeBron though. That's what I'm
LeBron
saying.
had to go against that. He had to face that against
Yeah.
Golden State. Cleveland and Golden State was going to he had to go against that. Well, let me ask you another question. Did Michael Jordan ever cheat the game? Keep it
No.
real.
I don't think
Michael
so.
Jordan never
I
cheated the
gotta do
game.
more research. But
Gambling,
I don't think he ever did. I mean, how much? I don't even think the man's even human. Because like, how do you get? I just don't understand how you get like master all of those skills. It's just like
you don't call the first retirement cheating the game.
Well, listen, if he's tired, I don't know. I don't know.
He was forced to fall back because of the gambling situation. He was about to be in some big trouble. This wasn't about his father dying. This wasn't about just him winning 3 rings. He was about to get in trouble, and they advised him to step away because they didn't really want that type of stain.
All right, but see, I'm not gonna get on him about that, man. I mean,
why not?
I mean, he was young. I mean, we all listen.
That guy won 3. Don't tell me he was young. He won 3 championships before that happened.
I feel you on that, man. I feel you.
LeBron has never cheated the game. That's what makes him the greatest.
Nah. You said that, how's that make him better as a player? See, I'm not focusing on all that. I want to look at players.
As a player, he has more points. He has more assists. All his numbers are greater other than the rings.
Nah, I'm just looking at just like I said, him as a player, man. I mean, just the post moves. I mean, he's constantly keeping you off balance. I'm just blown away. I look at him. I'm like, man, just the, I don't know, the way he's able to read the defense, the way he actually guards and plays defense, and his heart. I don't know, man. His killer instinct. I mean,
Could Michael do those same things with this generation's athletic
Oh, there ain't
opposition?
nobody will be able to guard him, man. I thought he like before I was really kind of analyzing him, like watching him. I thought, nah, like there's no way MJ can actually mess with these crop of players. But like I'm watching them now. I'm watching really watching a lot of MJ. Ain't the strength too, man. I mean, he was strong in the post, man. Ain't no way nobody's guarding the younger MJ. No way.
So Kawhi Leonard wouldn't be able to do nothing with Michael.
Hell no. He keeps you off balance, man. You try to actually go and close out on MJ, he's already kind of running. I don't know. He's able to read which way you're gonna try. You try to
Before you do it. He reads it before you do it.
Yeah, if you try to close out on him, he's putting the ball on the floor. You try to if he posts you up, he could fake left, fake right. Him actually catching and shooting, he's just constantly keeping you off balance, man. I just don't know how you guard him. Every player has a weakness of somewhat. He just has no weaknesses. I don't know how you guard him. MJ.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, what is MJ's weaknesses?
I mean, I've already explained how this guy cheated the game. He's a winner. He's a
skill set. What
skill set does not define the game. Those are only bullet points that you put on the resume. Like you can have the recipe, you still gotta cook. The meal still gotta taste like something at the end of the day. Michael won 6 championships. He made guys Hall of Famers, legends, and all that. So it's kind of harder for me to say that Michael Jordan ain't make players better. You see what he did with people like Scott Burrell and stuff like that. He made champions out of nobodies. But I feel like it was based off of them riding his coattail because he was so great in a time that the opposition just really couldn't hang or compete with Michael.
No, that's what I was saying. I mean, it's MJ can be used off ball too. I mean, he's an excellent catch and shoot player, man. You can actually run your offense through somebody else, like let's say Scottie Pippen or Tony Kukoc, and then MJ can still burn you by.
That's how they won. Jordan wasn't really facilitating the offense like that, bringing the ball up the floor during those years.
Yeah. And I made other videos about
what's LeBron's weakness? Good question, Juan.
Oh, we have some comments over here. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. LeBron's more of a floor general than Jordan. Come on. Why you got to make the best floor general move off the ball? No. I'm saying he can do that. I'm not saying that, I would want to do that. But I'm just saying, let's see. LeBron James' weaknesses, free throw shooting. I just don't see. He's not great off the ball, man. It kind of, it would be nice to see Westbrook kind of run the offense. And I was saying this when they actually got Westbrook. I said Westbrook he was 0 for 5 today from the 3-point line today.
I don't never hear you saying that about Magic.
I never watched Magic. I mean, honestly, I never really watched Magic Johnson. I started watching basketball in 1995. And then the team was mainly the New Jersey Nets at the time when they had Sam Cassell first and Marbury and then Jason Kidd. So right. I didn't really watch Magic Johnson really play. I gotta watch him and then see more of Magic Johnson. But free throw shooting and post up game, I don't know, man. It's just LeBron. It's hard, man. It's really hard because he got to look at the competition that MJ actually had to face. And I said this in a lot of videos that MJ, I'd rather get my ass kicked down low, than actually have to go out there and chase guys off that damn 3-point line, man. Especially really good 3-point shooters.
So who
And
had
they
the
didn't
tougher
have stretch
competition?
bigs back then, huh?
Who had the tougher competition?
Man, that's tough, man.
No, it's not.
That's tough.
What in the world? Are you kidding me?
They had some great players back then, man. They had
Look
some
what
great
LeBron
teams.
has been facing for 20 years.
No, I get no. That's what I'm saying. This is why this is not just an easy. I did videos on this. That's
This
why
is
I
no
said
debating.
I did videos saying like, all right, that LeBron was the GOAT because of the type of competition that LeBron actually has to face compared to MJ. So that's why I'm like, hold on, MJ didn't have to deal with like Ja Morant, and the explosiveness from him.
I'm not gonna let you do that, Rashid. I know this is your show. I'm not gonna let you diss my man like that. It is not just
I'm bigging
about.
him up. I'm giving LeBron
No, you're not,
props
because
right now.
you're talking about the opposition that LeBron facing and win and
No,
beat.
no.
Don't leave that part
I'm
out.
thinking the
And
crop of
defeated.
players are better today than they were in MJ's time. That's
I'm
what
looking
saying.
at teams. I'm looking at things that count. LeBron had to go through 2 dynasties: the San Antonio dynasty and the Golden State dynasty. LeBron won hardware against those dynasties. What dynasty did Jordan ever win the championship against?
Yeah, that's true, man. The Stockton
He
and
won
Malone,
6 of them. What dynasty he ever destroyed? On the same team. My man LeBron went to 3 different franchises. 3.
So did Kawhi. He won a championship.
Kawhi ain't win no 3 championships in 3 different places.
No, 2 championships, right? Yeah, he has 2.
And he wasn't the man in San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio.
He wasn't the man in San Antonio. LeBron has been the man everywhere he's went since he's came in the league. He's led the team in all statistics everywhere he's went.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
What?
I mean, it's hard. That's what I'm saying. It's not
hard.
Easy.
It's not hard, bro.
They were more physical back then. But like I said, me personally, from playing for all the years, I'd rather get beat down than have to chase guys around on the perimeter. That's just me. I think it's much harder to actually do that. It puts more wear and tear on your lower extremities. Guarding the 3-point line, the game is more 3-point oriented today. You can't touch them. Everybody thinks that, defending in the NBA, they don't play defense in today's NBA. No, they try. Like Ime Udoka, if you didn't actually play defense, he wasn't trying to send no help. You had to stay in front of your man against the Ja Morant. You don't do that. He's sitting your ass down. So you actually have to play defense in today's NBA. And I don't know what they're eating today. I mean, these guys are, it's more difficult. I've been saying that, man. I mean, there's guys like Charles from Dreamers Pro. He's saying, no, it's not. I'm saying it is. I'm watching this. I'm like, I'm just never seen, like, you look at Giannis, a 7-foot, damn, the man can put the ball on the floor. You're not going to be able to strip him at 7 feet. I watched him in person twice. You're not taking the ball away from him. He just puts a lot of pressure on your defense, man. And you get a big that's switched on to him. That doesn't have the foot speed to stay in front of him. It compromises your defense a lot. And I mean, it's hard. To me, today's hard. It's much harder than the 90s. And I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking I gotta give it to LeBron. It's hard though. I have to, because I'm thinking like.
It's only hard because you want to be a hater, Rashid, and you don't need to be.
I'm not being a hater. You see, I'm trying to
butter it up, and you don't have to be talking shit. You can just come out and flat out say we got the social media element. Michael Jordan and them guys ain't had to deal with the social media. That matters, I believe, in my eyes. When
how
you talk
does that
about
actually matter, man?
Because the biggest,
what you think?
because now what we talk about. People mental issues. You want to give Ben Simmons excuses because of the mental issues. We hear everything about mental illness, mental awareness. Like, that's been a really big thing, not just in the world, but in the world of sports. The social media, internet realm have definitely played the biggest role in that. Jordan them did not have to go through the criticism.
That makes sense, because like I said, I mean, you hear Ben Simmons, but let's just touch on Ben Simmons for a quick second. Trying to live up to a hype real fast. I mean, trying to put all this energy. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
And your own city your own city turn their back on you, your head coach, your players, and then everybody in the media, especially people that don't know what they talking about, like it was just the narratives. Like
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that's
like I
a
said, these guys, and
that's
I'm
tough.
gonna defend Ben Simmons and a lot of these young players over here. What you think about Juan Lamar's comments over here, man? What you think though?
About MJ
Yeah,
uh dogging this era too. Yeah. His game, Michael Jordan game caters, I believe, really to any generation. Old school, he would have been amazing, and even in the future, you know what I'm saying? If I think Michael will always have that type of game that will be amazing. Kobe as well.
yeah,
But when you measure efficiency and when you start to break it down, them guys just ain't as efficient as Michael. Look at Kobe. Kobe, everybody talk about Kobe scoring 60 points in that last game against Utah. And they go crazy over there. It took them 50 shots to do it, though. Don't nobody
yeah,
bring
yeah,
that up. And
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like, bro, we got to just be complete about these scenarios. These guys do legendary things, but it's two sides to every story.
yeah. But yeah, and like I said, I just a lot of people argue with me about that. All the MJ fans, they say, nah, the players back then were better. I said I think a lot of the players back then had more fundamentals. You look at John Stockton, fundamentally sound player, but he ain't no John Morant. You know what I'm saying? Who would you rather guard, John Stockton or John Morant? You see how quickly he can get. Now he's adding the 3-point shot to his game. Um, it's hard, man. I'm thinking, like I said, I'm really thinking about this because, like I said, LeBron, especially today's NBA, man, the competition is just tough, man. I mean, I'm seeing guys. Who's better, Giannis or Tim Duncan? Whoo, man.
Giannis is better. Tim Duncan is greater.
That's a tough one, man. That's hard. Uh,
Giannis is better, but Tim Duncan is
I think
greater to
Giannis
me.
is more dominant. Giannis is definitely more dominant of a player. It's like asking because I mean a lot of people are comparing like Giannis to like Shaquille O'Neal in a sense, and even like Shaq is actually compared Giannis to himself.
Giannis
He's
did
saying
more with less.
yeah, he's saying that Shaq is. I don't know. That's tough, but definitely like skill wise, I mean definitely Tim Duncan, um, passing Tim Duncan. Uh, Damn, that's tough. Off the ball, Tim Duncan, like he's a good pick and pop player. Uh, Man, that's hard. I mean, he has 5 rings, man. I don't know.
With who? He had the Hall of Famers though. You got
Yeah,
Pop, you
yeah.
got
You
Tony
had Tony.
Parker, you got
Yeah, Tony Parker,
Kawhi, you got
Ginobili.
Ginobili. That's
Yeah,
why I say Giannis just did more with less.
yeah. But they got Chris Middleton, and
Them
it's the
guys
same.
never was winning though, Rashid. Milwaukee didn't have any championship pedigree. Milwaukee didn't have none of that when they won their ring.
No, they had Drew Holiday, who's actually an All Star, and they had Chris
No
Middleton.
championship pedigree. I'm talking about San Antonio. Those guys won rings. Tony Parker
Yeah.
was a champion. Manu was a champion. David Robinson, Coach Pop, like those guys were champions. So, Tim Duncan was a really huge role in that, but he had other players that had that same pedigree with him and shit like that.
Does Giannis' ability to dominate counter the skills of Tim Duncan? I don't know. That's a hard one right there because Giannis actually does put more pressure on your defense, man. Than I say Tim Duncan. I mean, I've never seen anything like it with Giannis. I mean, just maybe like MJ or something like that. Maybe MJ in terms of like putting pressure on your defense, like Giannis does. I mean, the ability to get down quick. I mean, I've seen Giannis like double teamed by like a power forward and a center. He still gets to dunk. That's tough, man. That's a hard one. What you think? Does Giannis' ability to dominate counter the skills of Tim Duncan? What do you think?
It's too early to decide. Like we've watched the skills of Tim Duncan be instrumental for what, 14 years?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. You know, Giannis has definitely been proven with his company's domination, but can Giannis dominate for over a decade at that level that we see Tim Duncan, you know, with his skill? So that
Yeah, because
that
Giannis can
that
get hurt.
question
I mean,
just too
Giannis can
early to
get
answer.
he can get hurt. You know, it would be good. I
Exactly.
mean, and Giannis is actually starting to expand his game somewhat. You know, so he doesn't have to kind of really just rely on going downhill and probably bumping knees with somebody. I mean, I kind of get scared watching him sometimes. I'm like, I cringe a little bit because he's like, um, no, but Tim Duncan was a problem, man. I don't know, man. Who would you take? I mean, you had to start your team between Giannis and Tim Duncan. And Tim Duncan's a better free throw shooter. You know, even though he's like 73%, 72, 73%, he's a better. I think he's just more polished. You know, Tim Duncan.
If I got to start my team, I'm going with Giannis. Tim Duncan boring as shit. He ain't gonna bring my team no
Ah, man,
money.
I'm talking about like forget excitement. I'm talking about actually being a
Well, I'm trying
strategist
to.
over there.
I gotta sell tickets. I mean, you asked me a question. I gotta
You
sell
got to win
tickets.
too. You got to win.
I can win with Giannis. He won. What you talking about?
Yeah,
I can win with
come on
Giannis.
now, really.
Giannis didn't win a
I'm
championship.
gonna use the 8 ball analogy in pool now, man. I'm gonna use
Giannis
the
didn't
eight.
win a championship.
No, he did, but you know that was a lucky championship. I mean, Kyrie went down.
Oh, a stop
I
clock
said
is
it.
right twice a
Listen,
day, huh?
I said it. That was a lucky championship.
You're bugging out.
So Giannis is in year 9. Yeah, it's been a long time. I seen Giannis playing like 2015 or something like that. Damn. Yeah. It's gonna time flies, man. Giannis is in year 9, so Tim in 2005 or Giannis now. But see, Tim when he was younger, yeah, Tim was nice, man. He was just killing. I mean, he changed his game up to kind of suit more, like they kind of the style of play started changing. It was more 3-point shooters. Tim Duncan actually took a step back, but like Tim in 2005 was nasty, man.
Tim Duncan was a systematically great player. Tim Duncan is not. Tim Duncan doesn't have the same career he has if he wasn't on San Antonio.
Nah, what are you talking about? I mean, he won't get 5 rings. I agree.
He's not having nowhere near the same career if he wasn't in San Antonio. So I believe Giannis can do what he's done and doing in other places.
All right. Yeah. I don't know about getting a ring or anything like that. I mean, but since
You don't think Giannis could have went nowhere else and won a ring?
it depends, man. It really do
He
depend.
look who he won it with.
No, listen. Chris Middleton is not. It's not garbage.
Chris Middleton is not garbage, but mind you, this
Brooke
was a
Lopez playing in that. I gotta go back and look.
yeah. These are role players though, Rashid. You know, this was a situation where all the talk is about super teams and big threes. Like you got your boys, James Harden and Kyrie and KD forming, and you had LeBron and AD. Like it was Giannis didn't have no solid. Like Middleton was an all-star, but he was like coming of age. Giannis didn't have nobody solid. There was talks about Giannis going to Golden State. I'm surprised he resigned to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
He resigned and then won the chip.
He got more money to stay in Milwaukee. It was like an extra like 70, 60 or 70 million.
But I just didn't think they had a chance to win.
What's that?
I didn't think they had a chance to win because he was
he
playing
was-
terrible in the playoffs.
Who?
He won those MVPs, but he was coming up so short in the postseason. So I was like, yo, he about to leave and go fuck with Steph and them because KD gone. He opted back in.
That
I
would have been
said,
a
whoa.
good trade. They were even talking about getting Ben Simmons in there or something like that, or
With Golden State?
Yeah, that would be.
Ben Simmons need to go to the G League.
Nah,
He need to be redeveloped.
Nah, you bugging out.
He
Man.
definitely
You
needs to be redeveloped.
But you bugging out, man. You bugging
How? I watched this man put up 2 0-point performances this season,
So what?
and I'm bugging out. He's
I
the
told
third
you
best
already,
player
I'm
on your
not worried
team.
about his scoring right now, man.
That's why y'all losing. You're not worried, and that's why y'all
because
losing.
you have a plethora of injuries. That's why, man. Not just,
What preference?
we have a lot of injuries, man, to keep impact
I
players.
know.
Yeah, man, it happens, man. Listen, yeah, I mean, cool. I was watching some old Kawhi Leonard footage, and he's, you know,
He's a beast. He's a beast.
yeah, but he's not dunking on people just yet until he gets. Like I said, he has to get rid of those he has to clear those psychological hurdles, you know, before he can get comfortable dunking on people like that, man. You know. He says he likes Giannis, but I think this is closer than you make it seem. Like, what do you actually mean? Like, oh, in terms of Duncan would kill in this era. Yeah, of course. like how they would put a big and surround them with shooters. Duncan would be a monster with great. Yeah, man.
Duncan would not kill in this era.
What? You
How
bugging,
would
man.
Duncan don't shoot the perimeter
Yes,
shot?
he does. He can shoot.
Duncan is not a perimeter
has a good
shooter.
17
Hell
to 19
no.
foot shot. Yes, he does.
He can shoot
no,
a
he's
foot.
not a
He can shoot a
3-point
14.
shooter. He's
He is
not a
definitely
three-
not a. He's not a
he's not a-
16 to 18 point.
Yes, he
18,
is. He
16.
can
No
shoot the-
way. No way. Look at the
What?
stats. Please
Go
look.
look at the
we,
highlights.
We're on the
I'll watch
internet.
him
We're
play.
live right now. We can pull it up.
Hold on, let me see.
I don't know if I can share the screen, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you can pull up what his numbers is. Like Tim Duncan was not no perimeter shooter. He can't shoot no outside shot on no
he
consistent
can
basis.
shoot the 17. He can shoot the 17 to 19.
Not like these 7-footers. Not like these 7-footers.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Was Tim Duncan a better perimeter shooter than KD?
No.
Was Tim Duncan a better
But
perimeter shooter than
mid-range-
Anthony Davis?
See, look at my boy Juan over here said, man, he can shoot mid-range, middies, or enough.
Is he a better shooter? Is he a better shooter than Anthony Davis? No. You know it. No. Tim Duncan is not a better shooter.
I don't know. We don't see a large sample size of Anthony Davis shooting though.
We've seen
enough.
enough.
3-pointers. I don't see.
We've seen enough. We know Anthony Davis can shoot the three. Don't do that.
He can. He's a good shooter, not a great shooter.
I didn't say he had to be a great shooter. Steph is a great shooter. Of course not. Is Tim Duncan a better perimeter shooter than Joel Embiid? Does he have the range of Joel? No. Okay, then.
But a mid-range game is really, 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 really critical, man. And I break it down in that MJ video I did. Why a mid-range game is probably even more important because a good mid-range game can keep your defender off balance, man. Because when they actually trying to challenge you for that, yeah, he would kill, man. Yeah, especially
top three mid-range players right now in the league. Give me your top three.
You got Kevin Durant. That's number 1. DeRozan, number 2. The third one.
That's where I'm stuck.
Probably Kyrie. Kyrie's a good mid-range shooter.
We think just alike, bro. I swear I don't know why we be having these debates because we think just alike. I was just thinking those same 3 names.
Yeah. I got to do more research to see if there's another one. But Kyrie, in terms of the mid-range, no, because it keeps your defender off balance, man.
If Kawhi was healthy, I would put Kawhi up there over Kyrie.
Yeah, definitely. Kawhi is definitely a good mid-range shooter, you know. So I mean, you got 4, but mid-range shots are important. Yeah, and the analytics. I was just going about to mention the analytics. No, the analytics don't want these guys shooting mid-range shots, but it's important, and I break it down in that MJ video, like why a mid-range game is really critical for most of these players to have, man. And this is why it's impossible to stop Kevin Durant because of the mid-range shot.
They are coming out with another documentary on Michael Jordan. This is for the experience of the Wizards. How much of an impact you think this new documentary is going to have when we talk about this GOAT debate? Because The Last Dance definitely played a role in the arguments. Do you think this one could do the same thing?
Yeah, that was the first video I did was 39-year-old, 40-year-old Michael Jordan, and he took that team to the playoffs. And LeBron in his in his latter days is not doing that. I mean, they could do it this year.
Hold on, wait a minute. Didn't LeBron just win a championship 3 years ago?
That was a bubble championship, man. Come on, and he was still somewhat in his prime. And that was Anthony Davis in a contract year, man. I'm not gonna let you get away with that, man.
Everybody that plays well in contract year. I hear you.
It's true. They get into the best peak condition that they could possibly get. You know, they play hard. They play through injuries. And then, like I said, AD takes his foot off the gas. So I'm not going.
I can't argue
that was a
with
bubble right there, and a lot of guys didn't want to play in the bubble. You know, I'm not. That's an asterisk on that championship. That's not a real championship.
Only haters are going to put an asterisk there.
The crowd wasn't there. They didn't have to travel.
The crowd don't play.
No,
people looking for help.
Though. It does
the game is played on the court, right?
Let's say, all right, you have an East Coast team and a West Coast team playing. Let's say you have Boston and Los Angeles playing. You got to fly to different time zones.
You didn't have to do none of that, right? Everybody played on a mutual court.
NBA. Huh?
Yeah, for advantages.
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm saying,
if there's we don't need. But what if there's? It's all about what happens on the court. Like those little things help help as far as outside of the actual game. It can help the results, but what about just being on a basketball court? Mutual grounds, no traveling. We get to see who's the real players. Ain't no excuses. And if you don't want to play, you didn't have to play. Y'all could have stayed home. Y'all wouldn't have been penalized. So don't give me this, didn't nobody want to be in the bubble. Y'all had your choice and options to stay home. The Lakers had players that didn't play. Avery Bradley didn't come to the bubble. Remember?
Yeah, but you're talking about a 5th seed like Miami. I mean, you look at that same team; it was a 5 seed.
Well, we ain't responsible for the East. We're not responsible for the East. We got nothing to do with it. Look what we had to go through in the West. We had to go through Denver. We had to go through Portland. We had to deal with Dame. We had to deal with Luka. I mean, we had to deal with Dame and Jokić and them. So give us our props, man.
I'm not giving that bubble championship any kind of props, man.
That's fine. It counts, though. That's fine. You ain't got to give it to us. It counts. It's still in the record books. Don't matter.
But answering your questions about the Wizards, yeah, I just think if they would have been much more serious and they would have put like another, I mean, because I was doing, like I said, I was looking at MJ in there. I'm like, man, he still had a good, I mean, he couldn't jump as high, you know, like he didn't have the same type of athleticism when he was actually younger, but I mean, if they would have been serious and actually put a good team, like an extra player around that team, because they had a bunch of like Kwame. Was it Kwame? No, it wasn't Kwame Brown. It was like Tyronn Lue was on that team. I actually got to pull up the roster and see who they had on there, you know. But it was a bunch of nobodies on that team, and he took them to the playoffs. You know, at 39 years old, 40 years old.
Gilbert Arenas wasn't on that team.
What's that?
Gilbert didn't play with Michael?
No.
But that was yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, he's asking who's more skilled, Kareem, Hakeem, or Embiid?
Embiid because of the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
But I would pick Hakeem all day, every day.
Yeah, I would take Hakeem too. Defensively, rebounding,
maturity,
yeah,
leader, definitely. Real leader. He back-to-back championships. As soon as Michael left, I got this. Hakeem took them 2 years. I got this, Mike. Don't trip.
He had Sam Cassell on that team too, though, right? Yeah, Cassell was like he was good too, man, in terms of actually with the getting to the free throw line, like getting. I don't know, he was really crafty.
Sam is a legend here in Baltimore for basketball.
Yeah, I love him. He's one of my favorite players, man. Like I just watched him. I learned kind of like watching him play, learning how to play the game, just kind of emulating his game somewhat.
I played AAU versus Sam Cassell basketball team when I was younger. Matter of fact, yeah.
Okay, he was coaching or.
Yep.
Okay.
Because he come back they used to come back him and Melo. My little brother played for Carmelo's Nike team. They used to we had like bags of basketball shoes.
He thinks Embiid takes him 1-on-1. I don't know about that, man. We gotta see. I gotta do some more tape on Olajuwon. Olajuwon, yeah, he wasn't like one of these slow prodding centers. Like Olajuwon had like really, really fast twitch muscles, man. I mean, he can get up off the floor really quickly. He probably could slide his feet. You know, if Embiid actually would go out there to the 3-point line, I think Olajuwon can actually probably cover him. You know, the post moves. So that's the thing. They don't teach these big men like post moves like that today, man. They don't really teach them that. So I don't think Joel Embiid would actually even understand how to guard the post moves, you know. So yeah, man. You know, I think in terms of an athlete, who do you think in terms of like athleticism? You think that Joel Embiid or Olajuwon in their primes?
I want to lean to say Hakeem because I don't have a history of Hakeem being hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it says, shows me a big that can guard a big that can cross him up like Embiid can cross. No, but Olajuwon, I think he had a handle too. It wasn't like, but see, like I said, damn, it's tough, man. It's They got so many great players in the NBA in its history. That's tough. That's tough. And my best friend, man, he's a big Olajuwon fan. I gotta ask him about that. It's a good question. I'll call him tomorrow. I'm like, yo, what you actually think, man? You know, guard that can. But like I said, I mean, if Embiid is actually out there shooting threes, you know, he's taking pressure off of Olajuwon defensively. You know, um, if you are gonna, what you think though, man?
About what?
No, Embiid's actually shooting 3 pointers. You know, I mean, what he was saying over here: show me a big that can guard a big that can cross him up like Embiid can cross Hakeem. So he's saying basically saying in a head-to-head matchup, you know, Embiid. But see, they're not like he handles the ball, but it's not like he can handle the ball, but
It's
not
not
like
going to look like that in a one-on-one game. It's not going. It's going to look different than that in a one-on-one game. And then even if he can't cross Akeem can catch up. You can get a chase. You can get a
that's what I'm saying.
possible
He can
chase
move his feet.
down.
He's not a slow. It's not like Charles Oakley that Joel Embiid is going against, who's like a slow Hakeem.
And
Ain't
B
never
got that
guarded.
step back though. That step back will give Hakeem fits. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but he
That
better
step
have the
back will give
legs.
Kareem some
He
fits. I
better
mean
have the
Hakeem some fits.
yeah. He better have the legs for that step back shot, man. And you start
Hakeem, what you
going.
mean?
No,
Huh?
I mean if you start battling out and duking it out, that step back shot. If you don't, if your
Vaughn, you
legs are
need to be
tired,
drug tested, bro.
if your legs are tired, man.
He said Hakeem ain't never guard anyone like Embiid. I mean, from a skill set,
Well, Cool
if
Coach
you
was
want to
like
go there, maybe, but
Cool Coach was like he can actually stretch the
Shaq,
floor.
bro, he dominated Shaq.
Yeah, yeah. Cool Coach back then was kind of ahead of his time. He can put the ball on the floor. He wasn't as athletic as Joel Embiid, but like Cool Coach can actually play on the perimeter, shoot threes, put the ball on the floor. That was really kind of like your stretch big at the time, though. Shaq's not a threat like Embiid, but yeah. Oh, he's talking to you, man. Seven, he's talking to you.
What's that?
Yeah, man, he's talking to you.
What is he saying? I don't I don't see nothing that warrants a response from me.
He says Shaq's not a threat like Embiid. Stop it. You know,
Anybody that feel like Embiid is more of a threat or more of an impact player or have ever been more than Shaquille O'Neal just don't know basketball. I mean, I mean, Shaq had motion picture movies made on him before he even tapped into the league. Like, come
well,
on.
Dennis Rodman locked him up for 0 points in a game, right?
Who, Shaq?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer, but
0 points.
You wanna talk about 1 0 point performance? Look at Shaquille O'Neal's body of work.
Yeah.
I bet you people will remember these 0 point performances Ben Simmons having this season.
He said this ain't the early 2000s.
All right.
Yeah, the early
Shaq was ahead of his time, and if Shaq was playing right now at that age, it would nothing change. Nothing.
Well, you got a lot of stretch bigs in today's. They do
No,
a lot
who
of
will be able to stop prime Shaquille, bro?
Yeah, but you're talking about 2 pointers versus 3 pointers today. That's what I'm saying.
Who will be able to stop Shaquille O'Neal?
Nobody can guard Shaq.
That's all I need
That's
to
what
know.
I'm saying. But he also has to actually go and play defense now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't give up 3 pointers now. They just.
I'm pretty sure that you're not going to get a 3 from the opposition big man for every 2 that Shaquille gonna give you. So you could Joker and B, they can stay behind the 3-point line all day if they want. They not gonna make as many 3s as Shaquille is gonna make 2s.
So put Embiid back there, and Embiid will kill those senses in the early 2000s.
No way, Shaq. Yo, imagine. Oh, the early 2000s. I mean, what you talk about Shaq? Like, I even look at Shaq before in Orlando. Imagine Embiid versus Pat Ewing, David Robinson, Hakeem. Like, yo, Embiid is at the bottom of the barrel. His immaturity just stand out. Them guys will eat his ass up.
But what about his skill set, though? I mean, the
skill set
ability
doesn't determine everything. This is not a. This ain't a carnival game. It ain't about skill set. It's about chemistry.
Yeah, it's true too. Shaq had to wait until Hakeem, Ewing, the general had to age to dominate, man. You know?
How? Shaq ain't have to wait for nobody to dominate. Shaq came in the league breaking backboards and all that. Are we talking about winning championships?
Yeah, I guess. He was bad. I mean, listen, he was still learning how to play as a young player, man. I would say this, like, this is what, it's the same thing with Ben Simmons. You got to give these guys until like 27, 28 years old to really kind of understand everything. Shaq as a young player, going against David Robinson. Didn't he abuse David Robinson, though?
Who, Shaq?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. From a physical standpoint.
Older, yeah. That's when David Robinson was like really kind of retiring, though. Yeah. I mean, Shaq was young. It takes time, man. It takes time to actually learn the game. I think, Shaq did go to college. I don't know how many years he actually went. This is why these guys actually go to college, because they'll actually.
Shaq played at LSU.
Yeah, LSU. How many years? Like.
Damn, I don't know. I want to say it wasn't all 4. I really want to say 3.
They didn't really have any great centers in the early 2000s. I agree with that. Like Marcus Camby. It wasn't really. I don't know. The early 2000s.
They was little.
Yeah.
Them dudes was little. Like Shaq just had everybody. He was making everybody look like rag dolls.
Yeah. I mean, he killed my Nets, man. I was watching that, man. It was like, Keith Van Horn. Yeah, you know what Embiid. So let me ask you something. Is you a fan of Embiid? Yeah, Embiid would do the Marcus Camby. Yeah, Embiid's a beast, though, man.
Who is Marcus Camby, though? Marcus Camby's career was more relevant in UMass than it was in the NBA. Marcus Camby wasn't ever no threat in the NBA. Did Marcus Camby ever was an All-Star?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember that. He was like more of your today's center, Yeah, man.
To fill a roster spot. Who he played for, the Knicks?
Yeah, he played for the Toronto. I think he played for Toronto. Did he play for Toronto at one point? That was a long time ago, man. Whew. I'm not a basketball historian, man. I leave that for Justin Germany. Yeah, 3 blocks.
It might have been the Raptors.
He was a good shot blocker, Marcus Camby. He was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a really, really great shot blocker. He was long. He was like, what's this guy's name? McGee. Like he was built like
JaVale?
Yeah. But Marcus Camby's definitely better than JaVale McGee, though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. All right, we're gonna wrap this live up, man. Hour and 23 minutes. Whew, man. So listen, subscribe to my boy Best of 7 Sports Talk. I'll leave the link in the description over there, man. I mean, it's a great conversation. Elton Brand would get smoked by Embiid. Yeah, he would. I mean, Elton Brand was short. I mean, he was like an undersized power forward, like 6'7", 6'8". And I mean, I remember him he was out of Peekskill, New York, and I mean, he's alright, but he was undersized going against definitely. So your boy stopped ducking the conversation. Oh, I think he wants some more smoke, man.
This young man don't even know who he talking to. I gave him too much energy already. I don't even respond to comments unless they really from super chats. He lucky I'm on your show. I only respond to super chat. So it's a good thing that he was able to come up here and talk shit on Sports to the Wire.
I like talking hoops with people, man. That's why I kind of.
It's all good,
man. Yeah, I love doing this.
Just know what you talk about when you're talking to me, because I talk for money and I get paid to do it, and I love to do it. So I don't know what the hell Juan talking about, but God bless him.
Say he's coming at you, man. That's a challenge, though, man. 7, that's a challenge, man.
It's
Ooh,
never a
man, I
challenge, bro.
love it.
Don't
I
hype
love
that
it,
up.
man. I love
You
the
gassing that
intensity
young
up in
man up,
here,
man. I'm
man.
not even looking at them comments, man. Put
Just
on my
look.
hat. You see, fresh as I am. That's how we giving it up, man.
We definitely gonna have 7 back on, man, when another topic comes
Appreciate it,
up,
man.
man. He said something
For sure.
crazy on this show, man, that had me thinking, man. You taking dummies' money? Oh my gosh. Let's not get personal. Let's not get personal, man.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
All
I'm
right,
just
so we'll
here to
definitely
collect.
wrap this. Definitely wrap this live up over here, man. If you like the video, like, comment, certainly subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more videos like this.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to my boy 7, Best of 7 Sports Talk. He's great having him on. Sometimes I'm on his show. He brings me on like every other Sunday or something like that. You know, if I
Yeah,
see
man, I
something
always
he
try to
got.
tap in, man, with my guys, man. I know, like I said, you're a big Brooklyn Nets supporter, and you know we love basketball so much. I just love to get different perspectives and opinions. So, you
Yeah,
know,
and definitely, Juan. I'll let you know. Just look out. I'll probably have him on like next week or something like that. We're gonna do more of these collaborations together, God willing. And
absolutely.
yeah. He wants to go back. Maybe we'll bring you on the show, man, or something like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You
I
want to
gotta. I'm live
chop it up with
every
7,
day. Look,
man?
I'm live every day, Ron. I have live streamed open panels every day. All
Yep.
you got to do, subscribe to the Best of 7. Come join me in my live stream. Let me embarrass you in front of the people
All
and
right, man.
watch me
And
get
Juan,
paid
yo,
for it.
good look. Thanks for commenting, man. Commenting.
Appreciate you though.
Yeah, man. Definitely. All right, man. Peace out.
All right now. Peace.